Hi, Dr. Arianne here from the Movement Paradigm. Today I'm going to talk about alcohol and gut health. The reason for this is that I primarily work with people that are dealing with some kind of gut health issue, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and we are starting at the gut as the root of the problem. I have also worked with a lot of young females recently who are dealing with pretty significant gut issues, and one of the topics that comes up frequently is alcohol. So I thought that this was an appropriate topic for everyone who might be dealing with some kind of chronic disease, autoimmune disease, just simple digestive issues, possibly leaky gut, and you were curious about alcohol. So we know that in large amounts and chronic use, we know that alcohol consumption can promote dysfunction in the GI tract as well as the liver, and can affect and impair the surrounding organs over time. So that I think is pretty well known, but we also want to look at just standard drinking or moderate alcohol use, which would be considered 2 to 2.5 drinks, and you could think of that as multiple days during the week. If it is chronic, that is still going to impact inflammation, and that's really what I'm going to discuss. So alcohol can promote inflammation via multiple pathways. So the first thing that it can promote is dysbiosis or bacterial overgrowth in the intestine. So when we have an ideal gut flora, we have this balance of good and bad bacteria. Those bacteria are so important because they are what form the neurotransmitters that promote things like serotonin and dopamine, our feel-good hormones, as well as optimal immune health and just overall health. So if we have an imbalance in the gut bacteria, that is already going to lead us to a higher propensity of further issues. So the next thing that alcohol can do is it can promote cell death in the cells in between the intestinal barrier. So the barrier between the intestine and the rest of the body. Ideally, that is an area that can help to absorb key nutrients. And when there is cell death in the tight junctions that hold that barrier together, we can begin to release pathogens, endotoxins, etc. into the bloodstream. When this happens, we call this leaky gut or intestinal permeability. We then have an immune reaction. So we have immune cells that are activated immediately because now there are strangers and dangers coming into the bloodstream. So that's our first line of defense for our immune system to react to cause some type of inflammatory response. If we take that a bit further, what can happen is that we can begin to have those pathogens, those endotoxins, then crossing the barrier of the central nervous system, which then promotes neuroinflammation, or i.e. leaky brain. That can cause anything from brain fog and memory loss to something like a neurodegenerative disease, for example, Parkinson's, MS, Alzheimer's. So you can see that alcohol, even in small doses, if you have some type of gut issue already, if you already know that you have leaky gut or you have SIBO, you really want to think about the effects of every time you drink, how it can affect an inflammatory response in your body and delay healing as opposed to promoting healing. So when I have my young females who are in college and they're drinking on the weekends and possibly 6, 7 at a time, that is considered high alcohol use, and that can really affect the ability for them to heal properly. So that goes for all of us, and if you are experiencing, you're really trying to improve gut health, you might want to consider eliminating it for a period of time before reintroducing, so that you can actually just promote healing, decrease inflammation, so that you're not creating this systemic inflammatory response. Remember, when someone has pain all over their body, it goes from knee pain to shoulder pain to back pain, it's not just a mechanical issue. They are dealing with some type of chronic inflammation. and 75 to 90% of chronic disease is associated with inflammation. So we always have to remember that, right? So what are the things that promote inflammation? I've done lots of videos on other things, but this I think is an important topic because it's something that we all love. It's social, it's part of our culture and our society. So it doesn't mean that you can't have it. I just want you to be educated and really understand it and understand the implications of how it can potentially promote inflammation for you. So I hope that helps and enjoy your weekend. Bye.